Okay, this is Ringwalk Media in association with Wellhouse Therapy, Stillhub Management and Barclay Carter Racing. Mr. Adam Smith, it's so very good to see you again, and a really good weigh-in for GBM Sports.
Yeah, fantastic. It's really exciting. GBM is not so new, but now really getting going. It's a powerful promotional outfit and some fantastic signings. And I'm delighted to have joined Izzy and get on board. And this is a big show. It's a great show, stacked from top to bottom. We're standing next to Shaquille Thompson headlining the show. It's a wonderful opportunity for him. You know, we've signed him now at GBM. I think he's one of the most dangerous middleweights anywhere around. He's a 6'3" southpaw who can fight on the inside, on the back foot. He's got huge power. I think he's going to be a really, really big addition for British boxing, if not beyond. So Shaq Thompson headlining against the Bull, Vladimir Georgiov. He's got an opportunity too. There's a couple of belts on the line which will get them ranked higher in the world governing bodies. And then a stacked card, Commonwealth title fight. She's been talking to Nicola and Gemma Rueg. That should be a really good one if Nicola's last couple of fights are anything to go by. She's really exciting. Hughie Fury back on the bill, back in boxing after a 3-year gap, which is just super to see Hughie back. And he's only 29, and he's only a stone's throw away from joining that Saudi mix. A few fights, he needs momentum. Peter needs to get him back in the ring, and then a cast of characters. But for me, the real excitement is a little bit lower down the card. It's the Irish duo of Tieran Bradley, and particularly for me, Kieran Malloy, who I think is a wonderful fighter. He had over 200 amateur fights. I've been keeping my eye on him for a long time. I was there at his pro debut, and he's really got a chance now. They both have to light up not just GBM Sports, but Ireland and Irish boxing again. Paddy Donovan. It's a fantastic time for Ireland, and we can't wait to take Kieran to Galway at some point in the summer.
Well, Ireland sort of seen boxing come back in the last year or so, and it's really benefited them, hasn't it? They always have a very high sort of stock as amateurs, but there's a lot of them drifting into the pro game now, and there's some real quality fighters coming out of Ireland.
Ireland is a fantastic boxing country. It always has been, and I grew up watching Barry McGuigan. He was my hero. But whether you're in Dublin or in Cork or in Belfast or in Galway or wherever you are, there's just always talk about boxing. And Katie Taylor is the pioneer, the queen of the country. She's a fabulous fighter, a friend, somebody I admire, look up to, an inspiration, and she just has flown that flag in the Olympics and beyond. And there's so many great fighters coming out of the Emerald Isle. Steve Collins back in the day. I first went with Steve and worked a lot with Steve around the Eubank fights, and had some great nights there. We had Lennox Lewis fighting in Ireland. We've had so many great memories, and I love the country. I personally go there every summer on holiday, so for me, it's a dream come true that we've got Irish talent at GBM and we're going back to Ireland, so bring that on. But they've got jobs to do here first, and they can't underestimate their opponents. Both Tieran and Kieran are both unbeaten. They need to stay that way to keep the momentum going, but they're in decent fights, and that's the part of GBM. Put in hard fights on as well, so that it's not just home and away, but occasionally there's some upsets and some real tough struggles. So that's what I like about the GBM cards. It's stacked, and there's entertainment from top to bottom, and there's always a shock or two as well, which is great for the fans.
We've got just to your right, Arlo Stevens. His first debut has been a really good amateur, but he's been in with the likes of Fraser Clark, and of course Anthony Joshua is a real handful from what we know of him. He's a real prospect.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy as well, and looks the part, Arlo, and he's mid-20s. It's the right time for him to turn pro. He's had amateur experience, as you said. He's sparred with Fraser and AJ and a lot of good sparring and good preparation for this pro debut. We don't know what he's going to be like in the pros. It's always exciting when a heavyweight turns over, because it's the glamorous division, it's the big money spinning one, you get the big knockout. So really excited about seeing how Arlo develops. I thought he was really sensible at the press conference yesterday. He said he'd be underachieving if he didn't win a British title. So he's keeping himself in check. He's not calling out the best in the world. He's got a long journey to go, but it starts tomorrow night. Every pro debut is exciting. I'm sure there'll be some nerves and butterflies, but he'll be glad to get through it and get on with his career. But always enticing to have a heavyweight, and it's great to have him with GBM.
And good to see Hughie Fury back after 3 long years out. He's had a real tough time, but he looked in fine form up there on the stage. He's been good all week, and with things like the 5v5s going on in Saudi, he's 2-3 fights away from jumping on that, isn't he?
100%, you're absolutely right. I spent some time over with Hughie and Peter at their gym in the middle of nowhere a couple of weeks ago. I was car sick on the way. It was absolutely all round the bends. I don't know where we were in the Pennines. I'm not sure where we were in the end, but it's an incredible location. And Hughie is a fantastic fighter, and obviously he's proved himself. He's been in with the likes of Joe Parker and Povetkin and Pulev and these guys. He was narrowly beaten, and that was very early on in his career. So he almost had a strange one because they came a bit too soon, I think, when he was young. He's only 29 now. Terrible to have 3 years out. I know what it's like to have a year and a half away from doing what you love because of health, and 3 years is a long time, but he's got through it. That shows his courage, his resilience, his character. He wants to become the world heavyweight champion. That's the aim. He says it's not about money, it is about becoming world champion. And you're right, he can get in that Saudi mix, but he has to keep healthy, he has to keep fit, and he has to keep regularly fighting. This is a great stage to start with at GBM. We're delighted to have him on board. I know he's going to fight on Lauren's show in Wales in a few weeks. Then maybe we get him back on GBM, and we can have a great relationship with Hughie and Peter. They're great people, they're great boxing people. I've known Peter a long time with our links with Savannah Marshall, and it's very exciting to have Hughie back, and can't wait to see what he can do.
He could be a possible opponent for someone like Fabio Wardley, for example, if he gets himself back in the fitness that we know he can get.
Of course, he can fight at British level, and then he could hopefully go and fight at world level. And there's that big sort of magic melting pot of heavyweights over in Riyadh, and Turkey draws 1 or 2 out, and you never know. Hughie's not far away. He's got the Fury name, which is obviously always a help. Yeah, but he's good in his own right. He's a very skilled, wonderful amateur and a good professional. It's just this fitness side, and if he can keep his body right, and Peter says he's taking a long time to make sure he's absolutely ready for this comeback, then I think he can do some things. He's 29, as I said, and there's plenty of time, and keep fit, keep active, and let's hope he can get in the British mix and then maybe out in the Saudi mix.
Well, talking of comebacks, your good self, sir. It is so good to see you back in boxing, where you belong. You've always given us all a lot of time and a lot of knowledge, and we're just so pleased to see you back in an environment that you really love, on a great platform with Izzy. He's up and coming, and with your help, here he is. Look, he's to the right. He likes the camera, does Izzy? But from a personal point of view, it's really good to see you back here, Adam, and we can't wait to share a few good nights in the next few years.
That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. I'm really just grateful to be here, to be honest. I've been through the mill and back, and it's been very tough. And I've got a stoma. It's not easy. I'm on meds. I'd probably never be 100% again, but I'm alive, and I think for my kids and my family, that's the only thing that matters. I've changed a lot in the last year. I feel very fortunate to be here. My whole perspective on life is very different. I've spent a lot of time working with the homeless in West London, with my food bank, local food bank, and trying to give back, and that's what I want to do with athletes. I've hooked up with Ollie Weingarten at Summit to look after athletes, to manage, to help mentor them, and I've signed up with Izzy because I think he's got that infectious enthusiasm, passion, and the smarts to take this business a long way. And he reminds me, I keep telling him, I don't want his head to get too big, but he reminds me of a young Eddie Hearn. And when Eddie and I started and got together, it was chemistry, and it was great fun, and we worked brilliantly for a decade, and I loved working with Eddie, and I still adore the guy, and I just see in Izzy similar sort of traits. And I love my time with Ben. It was a bit too short, but I hope my time with Izzy will be longer, and really excited. He's made some big signings. Shaquille Thompson, Kieran Malloy, Tyron Bradley. These are really good fighters, and any one of them could become not only a domestic or an Irish champion, they can go on, I think, to become really a real force at world level. So it's exciting. We're on TalkSport YouTube. We can't wait to get going tomorrow night. We're back in London on May the 24th, and we're on a journey. And I love being around Izzy. But thank you so much. It's nice being back. I've got to get the balance right. My wife keeps saying to me, don't do too much. But when you've got the itch and you've got the bug, and it's been 30 odd years in this business, and I love the fighters, and that's why I came back, because I really want to be around them and I want to help them. And whether it's your Shaquille Thompson or your young debutant who's not had that sort of exposure yet, I want to try and give something back. And that's it's nice to have a mic in my hand once in a while as well. But to work with the athletes and give something back at both Summit and GBM, that's what the future holds. And I'm just very lucky and happy and grateful to my doctors that I'm here.
We're very grateful to them too. I know you just mentioned very quickly, because I know you're busy, you've got a food bank down in London. Where can people get involved if you need some help with that?
Absolutely, I think it's absolutely wonderful. It's the Ealing Borough of Ealing, and the Acton Food Bank is my local one, which is just in one of the churches in the Acton Square. And so I go there and help out on a Friday. It's not every Friday to them at weigh-ins. I can't do it every week, but when I'm in London, I like to. I go along and we open the food bank up, and it's a few hours of helping give food out and give some support to families, to people in difficulty who are struggling, who need help. And even if it's just some food and a conversation and a chat and put a smile on their face, I really enjoy it. And I've worked out on a Tuesday afternoon as well at the Acton Homeless Association, and it's giving tea, it's giving some support to people who are either sleeping rough or have difficult environments. And I'm very passionate and I get involved, and I fall in love with these people. It's really difficult, and I try and give back. And it's tougher now. I'm working and I'm back with Summit and GBM, so I can't do all these things, but they're never too far away from my heart now. And I would never have, I'll be honest, I would never have thought about these sort of things before I got ill, but now I've come back from that, and you're just very grateful to be here, and you're very grateful to give back, and that's what I want to try and do.
Well, listen, we really appreciate your time, as always. We can't wait for Saturday night. I think there's going to be a few shocks on the card and a few belts won. So, Adam, superb to see you again, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.